live and somewhat crooked, I think. That's okay. What's up, everybody? My name is Cassandra. Some of you know me. If you're watching this, you probably know me. I'm just gonna pop onto my social medias right now and make sure that everything is going groovy here. But I want to welcome you, for those of you who are watching today, to my first little mini-series live stream. This is a new concept I've been putting together over the last few weeks where I will be sharing some original songs because I know I already do a live stream that does covers, so this will be a couple of my original songs, and then I will Skype interview in another songwriter or songwriters to have a conversation about songwriting, to share a couple of their original songs. And by the way, you are super welcome to be included in that conversation. There is a chat box you can see on the screen. If you have any questions for me or the other songwriters as this thing goes along, don't hesitate to drop a comment in the chat. So that's part of the whole thing, you know? So I'm going to kick off first of all here with a couple of my original songs. Then we'll get chatting with my good friends Cory Bristol and Jenkins, who are each going to share a couple of their songs. And then I'll take some requests until the hour is up if we still have time. And thank you so much. I see a couple people watching already, so thank you so much for tuning in. So this is the first of 5. If it's going well, I'll do more than 5. But so for starters, I didn't intend to do anything super opinionated, but it is the Sunday before the election, and so the couple of my songs that I've selected for today are definitely in that spirit, I believe. So I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, any questions for me, Jordan or Cory, you can drop them in the chat as the live stream goes on. And thank you for tuning in. Oh, and then as always, if you'd like it, you can Venmo and we'll, you know, hey Norm, hey Charlotte, and we'll yeah, that would be nice too. So the first song I'm gonna share today is called Anyway. When it all started, people cried out, what will we do? And filled their calendars with phone calls, mourned the cancellation of their music festivals, and loaded up their guns outside the Capitol. Now we've all been asleep for nearly half a year, and friends, kids don't know what happened to their playmates. The U.S. stomps its boots and binges on fake news, while the world waits, and I'm not holding my breath for a better day. Turns out I don't really have much nice to say. There are miles and miles of space with nowhere to go, that's fine. I don't want to see anyone anyway. Now I spend my time counting my pennies and crossing off the numbers on the wall. The greatest place on earth lets its people die while sad housewives take their children to the mall. And I'm not holding my breath for a better day. Turns out I don't really have much nice to say. There are miles and miles of space with nowhere to go, that's fine. I don't want to see anyone anyway. And this is not a joke, this is not a social media post, and though some of you think it is, this is not a TV show. This is me at home alone, trying to understand why some days I want to die and other days I don't but I'm not holding my breath for a better day. Turns out I don't really have much nice to say, 'cause there are miles and miles of space with nowhere to go. That's fine, I don't want to see anyone anyway. So that's a tune I wrote a couple months back. It's called Anyway. For those of you just joining, I'm Cassandra. I'm doing a few original songs as part of my new Songwriter Sunday mini-series, after which I will be joined by my good friends Jenkins and Cory Bristol, who will be sharing some of their songs. We'll be talking about songwriting. You're welcome to ask questions to any of us as well, and in the comments. And then I'll do some requests to finish out the hour. So thank you so much for those of you who are watching right now. If you're just signing on, like I said, I tried to avoid a little bit of my song selection theme here, but given the timing, I could not resist it. So here's another song of mine. So Jordan and Cory will be on at 2:15. So make sure you stay at least for them. But here's another song of mine called Trump's Private Dinner at the Kremlin. He said I'm losing control as a fat bead of sweat rolled grotesquely to his chin. The people, they're talking, they're reading, they're feeling, and I knew exactly how I got in the state he was in. I said, Fuhrer, don't worry, believe me, it's easy. Don't flounder and panic like a fool. The people, they're stupid and easily frightened. You simply forgot the olden rule. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Make them hate each other and you'll never lose your tenure. Conquer, divide and conquer. So here's some fairy dust and some whiskey for your chest, and plan your concert. He said, what if they find out I'm here? We'll turn the cameras on, 'cause frankly I don't give a damn, my dear. What if they're angry and they come for me? And have them beaten to a pulp and gassed until they've had enough, and conquer, divide and conquer. Make them hate each other and you'll never lose your tenure. Conquer, divide and conquer. Now have a cup of tea, and here's a direct line to the KGB. And one more thing, turn off your emotions, it's annoying when they start screaming and pleading, and in the history books they'll be the looters and the crooks. So happy planning and sweet dreaming. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Make them hate each other and you'll never lose your tenure. Conquer, divide and conquer. Nothing to fret about. Give a call if you need someone taken out. Another not political song. Hey Audrey, thank you for watching. So hey, check it out everybody. Audrey is also going to be on one of my Sunday songwriter hangout chat type things. She got an EP coming out December, right Audrey? Let's just start plugging it. Plug your EP. So do follow her especially on Twitter. You are fun on Twitter. So that's Audrey Q. Snyder, great songwriter, going to be joining me soon as well for one of these. So thank you for those of you who are popping on to watch this. Very, very cool stuff. All right, I'm going to try and squeeze in two quick ones. Two quick ones, and then we're going to get Jordan and Cory on the screen to talk about their songs, talk about songwriting, and feel free to drop any questions, comments, whatever, in your chat. It will streamline to the screen. All right. Let's see. 'Tis the season. Sorry, guys. This is called I'm Not Sold on That. I was walking alone on the shore of Lake Michigan. That's where I picked up an empty beer can. I rubbed it, curious about the beer's brand. When a spirit slipped out, he said, I've been listening to your prayers, man. He said, if you stay quiet, I can give you some cash flow. If you stay quiet, I can get you that next home. If you stay quiet, I can give you infinite hours. If you stay quiet, I can give you infinite power. And I thought about it. I really thought about it. I thought about the sports car. I thought about the condo. And I thought about it. I said, I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that. I said, take that garbage out of your mouth. Yeah, take that trash talk to the White House. Why don't you dress in all white to impress and get some laughs? I'm sure the president will be thrilled and hire you on his staff. He said the way of the world is just what it is. He said I'm just here to grant wishes. No, he doesn't discriminate, he's just a servant. So I said, okay slave, go play the serpent and run its urging. I said, carry that garbage though you are weak. Yeah. Take that trash down to 1 Street. Serve that garbage to Brett Kavanaugh. Serve it on a silver platter and make them eat it raw. And I will stay quiet. Yeah, I will stay quiet. Once the tyrants are asleep, you won't hear a peep from me. Till then, I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on that. Get back in your can. I'm not sold on that. Alright, I'm not sold on that. It looks like I'm not gonna have time for my last tune, that's okay. I think three had enough weight there. And interesting, I don't know if this will come up in our conversation. Like I said, this is a little bit of an experiment for me. I just realized both of those songs were written from like multiple viewpoints, kind of dialogue-based songs. That's kind of fun to think about. So, I will get going here and get Jordan Jenkins and Cory Bristol up on the screen. They're both going to be sharing a couple of their original songs. We're going to chat a little bit. As I said, if you have questions throughout the conversation or as they play their originals, drop them in your respective platforms chat and they will be streamlined onto the screen, and I will work them into the conversation as well. So please feel free to be as involved as you want. So let me get Jordan and Cory up here. I'm going to bring them up on Skype. So hang tight for one hot second. Let's see here. All right.
All right. Hello.
We have a Jordan Jenkins too. Let me get you up on the screen as well, my friend. And Cory
Hello.
Bristol. What's up,
And
y'all?
you, you should be in the shots too. Hello.
Come closer, come closer.
Come closer. Let's come closer.
This is week one of this.
Ow!
This
Week one, indeed.
yeah, of this thrilling affair here. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Good. I'm excited.
Nice Sunday, having fun.
Having fun. I know I got a glass of wine over here because it's Sunday.
Is the light okay?
Yeah, I can see you both pretty well. I will say, just because this is week one, if you look centered on your camera, you're probably need to come. Cory, you need to snuggle up a little closer to Jordan so I can get more of you in this. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, spicy. Okay, cool. Well, let's kick it off. Who wants to go first?
I think we're gonna do Cory's songs first.
Very cool.
So, Cory, if you want to talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, so the songs that I have for today, they are from a project I've been working on that I've been calling it a musical podcast. I love fantasy, and I love, because I'm an elementary music teacher, I love children's books in particular and things that are like really great and useful for kids. And I really liked the show Gallivant. If you've ever seen Gallivant, it's a musical TV show, but it's not a kid appropriate one. And so kind of taking that idea of a musical, a serial musical experience, I thought a podcast might be kind of interesting with that because I love to write stories as well. So the story is called Far and Beyond. And the two songs that I have for today, the first one is sung by a character named Connie, who's sort of the main character of the story. And she is a very smart person, but she's always kind of lived in the shadow of her older adoptive sister, who's everyone thinks is like basically the most beautiful girl in the world. And Connie has never really felt that like there's anything special about her, especially since even though she's very smart and she reads a lot, people in her village don't really care about smarts because most people don't leave the village. And so she has aspirations of bigger and better things. But kind of what looms over her is the idea that she doesn't really know where her like birth family comes from. She was kind of just found out in the forest in a basket, and she experiences some interesting things. And the lead up to this song is she is going to meet her older sister, Rebecca, who's super beautiful. And she's lamenting on the fact that she's always the other girl, but she sort of discovers that there might be something a little bit more special about her, in that she might have some connection to magic, which is a pretty ancient and forgotten about practice that people very much fear. And so even though weird things happen to her, she's always kept it to herself. So this is Just Like the Wind.
Very cool. I'm going to switch the screen over so I get my ugly mug out of here, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wait, I think, yes.
So if we're like this, can you still see?
Yep, looking good.
Cool.
Perfect.
Now you're full screen, so.
All right. So this is also, this was definitely like a workshopping song. So, which I thought would be kind of interesting to try out. So it's definitely not something we've been able to like go through as many times. So you're watching.
It'll be great. That's not.
Feedback's great.
Okay.
So.
Ready?
It calls out to me as I lie in my sleep, but I can't understand what it says. A voice more into me and seems so friendly, just can't seem to turn it away. Why do I feel always alone? This strange feeling like going home. In a crowded room with a thundering boom, it calls out to me every day. It's like the wind, though you don't see it, know to believe it, even when it's not there. Just like the wind, I can feel it, hear it calling me somewhere. As a child, I knew he would die. My orphan once more. Please give me guidance, tell me the answer. I'm yours, I need to know. What are these feelings I know forever, just ignored? I need to know. Am I like the wind, not seen or expected to be much more? Am I like the wind, something more?
Nice.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So, yeah. And
That's that one.
yeah. And kind of with that, it's like her discovery of learning kind of like what these potential powers she might have, and you know, everyone's special, all that good stuff. Themes for children.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then so that is that one, and that takes place in like the first episode of it too. The idea is like to have about 4 songs per episode, which originally I was gonna just like make the episodes and release them, but then I realized 4 songs per episode is a lot of writing, so I'm instead trying to get a number of episodes done. So I'm like about, I don't know, it just takes a long time. So like it's a project in the works.
Well, I'm extremely into it. You guys can't see the chat box, I think, because we're just doing Skype, but Ellen says your voice is beautiful. Wendy Carter says awesome. Audrey says she's really enjoying this. So just so you guys know, there's some live feedback happening.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
So my second song, it's also from this same series. And while the first one is Connie, who is the younger sister, and by younger, they're like very close in age. The second one is from the older sister, Rebecca. And essentially, it's not giving anything away. You find out all this in like the first episode. But Rebecca gets kidnapped throughout the story, and she's very, very gorgeous, and like, you know, everyone's in love with her. Everyone wants to marry her. But, you know, there's more to her than just her physical appearance. And she is really tired of being the damsel. And even though she's appreciative that people are coming to save her and everything, and she doesn't really know, she hopes, she's kind of tired of having to rely on other people and being seen as just this object rather than someone that can fend for themselves. So this is her song called Rescue Me. And, you know, you don't need no man. So it's Rebecca's song, Rescue Me.
Awesome sauce. I'm going to flip you back over to full screen, get your title up, and then rock and roll, y'all.
Get flipping. All right. You ready?
Yeah. Sitting in a tower, waiting for you. It's the same old story, but I don't know what to do. Waiting for a lifetime, it's not my style. This damsel in distress is out of time. Sitting on my rump, just waiting for someone to tell me what to do. No, some boy in arms, brave and as honor, just we've come through. No, I don't need some prince to come rescue me. I don't need some guy for me to be complete. Oh, I don't need the one to sweep me off my feet. I don't need you to rescue me. I just need me. I can fight my own battles. I can face my own fears. I'm resilient and powerful, so I dare to go near. I tap my mind, move out of sight, blend in and out the dark. I'm a woman with power, brave and as long as now I can go far. So I don't need some prince to come and rescue me. I don't need some guy for me to be complete. Oh, I don't need the one to sweep me off my feet. I don't need you to rescue me. I don't need you to rescue me. I just need me. Like a bird flown out of cage, I'm gonna put you in your place. This woman's on the prowl, I'm not thrown in the towel. No, I've no need for a man. I can take my own hand. There's one thing I know, I can do it on my own. So I don't need some prince to come and rescue me. I don't need some guy
Heck yeah. Sorry, I don't have a studio tech, so I got a little bit of a lag with clicking 50 buttons at the same time.
That's okay.
That was super cool. Audrey Q. Snyder says that's 2020's hottest dance track.
It totally is.
Hell yeah.
No, that was hella fun. So would you, for the people, say what your podcast is real quick?
Sure. It's not like a real podcast. I'm still like working on it, but the goal would be to have it be like a musical podcast, and it'd be called Far and Away.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like in long distance stage of development.
We wait with bated breath. In the meantime, before we go to Jordan's songs, could you talk a little bit about Cory Teaches Music and your ukulele pedagogy stuff?
Yeah, sure. So during the daytime, for the last 5 years, I've been a music teacher teaching K-8 music. This year, things are a little different. I'm working as like a teacher's aide in a 3rd grade classroom, which is awesome too. But a really positive thing that's come out of that is not only do I adore the school I'm at and the lead teacher I work with and like all the kiddos, but it also allowed me like a lot more energy to be able to put time into other creative pursuits. And one of them has been my YouTube channel, Cory Teaches Music. And I started it about 2 years ago because I was teaching ukulele in school, and I went to school as a vocalist, so I didn't really have a lot of instrumental practice. And ukulele, we had a class set of them, and I wanted to practice my skills as well as encourage my students to, so I started the YouTube channel with that. But then I ended up really enjoying making videos, and so it's grown more. And so yeah, that's what I really enjoy doing. I do a lot of ukulele tutorials, but then also just like general music things, things to help other music teachers. A lot of it are like series and stuff meant for beginner ukulele players of any age. So I mean, my recommendation would be like 2nd, 3rd grade and anywhere up. But yeah, I also have a ton of additional resources that I offer on like my Patreon community, and that I have on Teachers Pay Teachers as well. So that's kind of the stuff that I do. And yeah, it's been really fun, even though I'm not teaching like in the classroom. I mean, a lot of people aren't teaching in a classroom at the moment anyway. But even though I'm not teaching music as my primary content at work right now, it's really fun to still be able to teach music to a wider audience. And it's really great because I get to keep in contact with a lot of old students too, which is really cool.
That's super cool. So if people want to get their uke on, Cory Teaches Music on YouTube, how many subscribers do you have?
I think we're nearing about 30,000, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. I also have an Instagram. It's a brand new thing that I just like started recently, but that's also just Cory Teaches Music. My Teachers Pay Teachers is also, everything's Cory Teaches Music that I have.
All right.
So.
Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of stuff going on here. I want to throw this up here as well. Cory Teaches Music there.
On the screen.
Right at the top of the screen, Cory Teaches Music, everybody. That's where you can find Cory's Instagram, Teachers Pay Teachers, YouTube. Do go follow. Cool.
Yeah, and if for whenever I actually am able to get this out as an actual project, which again probably won't be for a bit, so I have to get like most of it done before I can start releasing it. I will definitely be putting it up on my like socials and stuff to make people aware of it.
Awesome. That's so dope. Okay. Cool. Let's move on to Jordan as well. What's going on? What are you going to share with us today?
Cool. Hello. I'm married to her. No, stay here.
I'm not doing it in your
That's
song.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit here.
Excellent. I am a piano bar musician and general writer guy. I originally met Cass while we were doing our master's degrees in composition. But eventually got tired of just writing super heady crap that no one would ever listen to. And so this year, especially during the pandemic, I've tried to really get back into songwriting. So Cassandra and I are involved in a little songwriting club where we kind of pick a prompt and everybody writes a song based around that prompt. Mm-hmm. So most of the songs I'm going to share come out of that little project running group thing. The first song is called Memories, subtitle Who I Am. And yeah, it's a song about nostalgia. So
Awesome. All right, let me get you flipped over, and then you'll be good to go. All right.
summer is gleaming, sun shines from heaven above. Ocean waves crashing, beckons to come join the fun. Friendships developed, our friendships sustained in this little bubble of time. No looking back, only here in the moment, a fragment of sublime. But I'll always remember the things in my past. I'll always stay warm in the memories I have. They float like a blanket, the ghost stands behind it. They tell me where I've been, remind me who I am. Summer is fading, colors they change on the leaves. Wind carries forward, tickles you with a soft breeze. Though summer dies, there is still a rebirth. New experiences lie just ahead. New things to learn and new friendships to form. A winding school of thread. But I'll always remember the things in my past. Always stay warm in the memories I have. They float like a blanket, the ghost stands behind it. They tell me where I've been, remind me who I am. Move on ahead, make who I am. Spring is blooming, land wet with melting snow. Life after winter, a time now where new things can grow. Friendships mature as we move on through time, bring change the old times have gone. Passing into the next chapter of life, we sing a brand new song. But I'll always remember the things in my past. I'll always stay warm in the memories I have. They float like a blanket, the ghost stands behind it. They tell me where I've been, remind me who I am.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah!
So
That's
Charlotte
one song.
says, oh, what's that?
That's one song. We got it.
I like that one a lot, actually. That's one of my favorites of yours to come out of our songwriting circle. Many of my selections today were also from Songwriting Club, so that's fun.
Yes.
Charlotte says, nice. Audrey is laughing at your super heady crap comment. My mom says that you sound great, and Emily Root says, nice. So got a lot of good feedback coming from both of y'all here. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what's coming up next for you, and do you want to say anything about it?
My next song, I wrote this one a little bit ago. This is about gambling, which is always fun. Yeah. It was a really fun song to do. I listened to a lot of like classic rock growing up, and so that was kind of firmly in my head when I wrote this song. So even though I'm going to play it on the piano, you can imagine it like like a cool like 80s rock vibe.
I think I can manage
Heavy
that.
drums, and sort of guitars, a guitar solo that I'm not going to play.
Why didn't you get the band together for today, Jordan? This is big stuff.
Damn it!
Okay, awesome. So we got Double or Nothing coming up by Jordan Jenkins. Rock and roll, my friend.
Yeah. All right. I walk out on the floor, flashing neon lights, invite me inside. I grab a seat at the table, lady luck will be my day tonight. I dig flings, jackpot, slots, roulette, scraps, and side bets. Tell me, what do you get? I'm not leaving till I make some money. I'm settling for this. And when I'm feeling like I just can't go on, the dealer gives me 21. And when the chips are down and I know that I need to close up shop, I should go home, but I can't stop. I'm going double or nothing. I take a break to sip some booze as I plan for the next attack. It doesn't matter which game I play, they all keep me coming back. Win, lose, push, pass, stacks, hit, split, stand, going double or nothing. I'm chained here with the stench of cigarettes, filling my wallet full of regret. And when I'm feeling like I just can't go on, the dealer gives me 21. When the chips are down and I know that I need to close up shop, I should go home, but I can't stop. I'm going double or nothing. Walking past, flashing neon lights, dollar signs flashing in my eyes. Feeling good, it's my lucky day. If I lose, there'll be hell to pay. Walking past, flashing neon lights, dollar signs flashing in my eyes. Feeling good, it's my lucky day. If I lose, there'll be hell to pay. And when I'm feeling like I just can't go on, the dealer gives me 21. When the chips are down and I know that I need to close up shop, I should go home, but I can't stop. I'm going double or nothing.
Heck yeah. That's such a fun song.
It is. I also forgot to mention your good friend, our good friend John Charles Weston actually contributed the bridge to that song. So he gets a small writing credit in there.
I see. There's a lot of nepotism going on here.
It definitely is.
Very cool. Yeah, we're going to have John's former writing partner Tommy Sklett on here in a few weeks as well. So, yeah, you know what's going on. So, real quick, actually, let me grab some. So, where can people follow what you're up to, Jordan?
You can just follow me on my socials. I hardly ever post anything at all, but that would be just search Jordan Jenkins on Facebook. I'm also tagged in this post, so that would be a way to find me. My website is jordanjenkinsmusic.com, and eventually I will get around to updating that, seeing as how I should probably do that at some point. Yes.
Oh, you know what? It's been a hell of a year, so I think everybody is fine.
You know, it's just the website is one of those things. I'll get to it eventually.
Yep. What are you gonna do? All right, let me real quick. I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. I'm working with. Thank you guys so much for being the first folks to come on and chat songwriting. As well, I'm working out some of these kinks here. Yeah, Cory's still there. Norm, John's dad, Norm says, great songs all around. Audrey says she loves a good gambling tune as well. Yeah, and let's just spend like 2-3 minutes. And same thing for those watching. If you want to drop a question in the chat box, I will work those in to the conversation up here too. I know we have some songwriters watching, some composers, some cat lovers. Maybe we'll see a cat appearance. We don't know. Yay, cat appearance.
Cat appearance. She's not happy about being on camera.
Oh,
She's shy.
shy
Yes.
pipsqueak. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys each want to just take a minute or two and just kind of talk about how you approach songwriting, what you like about songwriting, anything that comes to mind that you want people to know about you or your process?
Well, for me, I am not a like classically trained composer by any means. I went to school for music education, and so I have the standard theory stuff, but I actually really struggled with theory a lot, and for a long time I thought I had to be really good at theory in order to be able to write songs. And there were also like a few times in my life where like when I had dabbled in songwriting, I was kind of shot down by people in my life with it. So it really made me not want to write anything ever. And then I kind of started picking it up again a lot more during the pandemic because I realized I really enjoyed writing songs, and I've always loved, improvising random songs. But I realized it was a great way for me to express my feelings. And I know that sounds like such a cliche thing, but it really does. I mean, it's all it is, it's poetry set to music. So, so for me at least, I definitely think melodically almost entirely. So I will think of what I want the melody to be, and then I will find the chords that fit well. I don't think of general progressions, or if I do, I'm not thinking in a theory-based sense. I'm thinking more intuitively of what I've been exposed to musically. And I think that's how probably a lot of people think about it. Like maybe if they haven't had, like you and Jordan, you guys did your master's in composition. So you probably have a completely different process that is much more rooted in theory. And I think that often shows a lot in your music, where you do a lot more like intricate harmonies and stuff. Whereas like I've worked with Cassandra on a project before, and Jordan works with me all the time. I think pretty skeletal in terms of harmonies, and I'll just figure out what I want my melodies to be in the story and the overall vibe I want. And I typically have a good idea of what I want for the accompaniment. I'm really lucky that Jordan typically knows my brain pretty well, and he's able to figure out what I want and can translate those wants into sound, which is great. But yeah, I think of story, then melody. And also I try to think of ways to, because I think it's because my background's in vocal music, I try to think in ways that can like showcase the voice, and hopefully that comes off in my pieces.
It
does. Because as a vocalist, I love singing in various ways. And so I try to have there be some kind of dynamic contrast involved.
Oh, for sure. No, and you have a fantastic voice. I remember you saved my thesis, my master's thesis. So, and speaking of like kind of the theory-based versus intuitive thing, I actually think of myself more intuitive than theory-based, because I started writing when I was like 13 and wrote my first musical when I was 16. And I think intuitive creation is great. And actually, Norm, who has his doctorate from Northwestern and just retired this year from teaching, says avoid theory-based thinking at all costs. So, teacher, college professor level verified, avoid theory-based thinking at all costs.
Well, and Jordan could probably speak.
Indeed.
Well, Jordan could probably speak to it more too. But one thing I find like really interesting in comparison to like how you used to write music when you were in high school is it seemed like you went with much more of an intuitive fashion, and then when you got more into academia, would squashing that be too harsh of a word?
Well, first I'd like to say that my process for songwriting has almost nothing to do with how I used to write concert music.
Same.
And beyond that too, I mean, theory stuff definitely, I guess I'm a big harmony fan. So I think about harmony a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was necessarily theoretical though, because while it definitely informs where I know is possible to go, or like cool sounds, I would agree with Norm that theory-based writing is boring and not really fun. I'm definitely, I think I would call myself a more intuitive writer as well.
Yeah, and actually, that being said, I want to share. Audrey just dropped a comment too. That might be an interesting talking point for a couple more minutes. Audrey says, sometimes I think that your instrument, voice included, of course, can influence how you write. Like people who play rhythm section instruments might be more comfortable with writing progressions first. But if you're more consistently a melodic instrument, you might be more apt to think of melody right off the bat, which I think is like a great comment.
I think that tracks pretty well, just from the different ways that we tend to write. Because I have a background as an instrumentalist, I'm usually going to like the guitar or the piano kind of first and noodling around and, you know, coming up with progressions or whatever and kind of trying to hear a melody in my head or something like that. Whereas I think Cory does approach it from the opposite as a vocalist.
Well, and I was going to say too, I often try to think of like what the listener's experience is. And I think, obviously, I think upon further listenings and based on the type of listener, like if they're an instrumentalist, they might be listening to more of the instrumental parts. But I think, like, not to stereotype or group or whatever, but I think probably like the more casual listener is probably going to hear melody first. So that's something I try to like think of as well, as like what is going to be the listener's experience, and what is their initial takeaway, because while it sucks maybe, like realistically a large % of people that hear your music are probably not going to give it a second listen initially, but if there's something that it like they can cling on to, that's going to make them wanting to come back to listen to it again. So I try to, did the cat just jump through? So I know that's something I try to think of is like, how can I make it something that people are going to get an earworm for and be enjoyable and easy for them to want to come back, or even if they don't come back, something that's going to be lasting.
For sure. And I think you are very in tune with that because you've had such success on YouTube with your following and your song choices and the way that you present tutorials too. So it's just fun, you know, and we talked about too, when Cory and I did a mini musical together. We're both lyric people actually first, I think, and you melody and me rhythm. So it was a really nice collaboration too. Yeah, guys. Well, this was longer than I said it was going to be, but it was fun for me, and I hope it was fun for you guys too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us, and we hope for those watching that you enjoyed it. And
yes, yeah. I put Cory and Jordan's stuff up top over there. I'm still learning how to use this webcam. So do follow their YouTubes and websites and Twitters and whatever you feel like. Well, I'm going to hit you with one more comment that came up from Norm. He says, that being said, however, the more you know of theory, the more informed your intuition can be. I also think that knowledge form is very important for me, at least. Cool. We got a bunch of like baby geniuses on this thread too. It's pretty cool.
That's where I think Jordan comes through. So I was really surprised when you said intuition more, because when we do work together, you are almost purely talking theory at me. And so I think that's kind of where, I think that's like sort of where you sit with what he was saying, where like, yeah, you build off of intuition, but like you're also thinking of how can you like support this based in theory.
Yes.
Would that be fair?
I mean, I think just theory provides just a framework in which to discuss why I think certain sounds work better. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, of course. And I think
it's the reason I'm talking theories, because that's the only language that I have to express what I think it should sound like.
For sure. And I think different composers, songwriters, poets, or whatever, artists of any discipline do tend to use a combination of those things or lean one way more than the other. And that's what makes everybody's art so different and interesting and cool. So I think it's all worth chatting about and thinking about too.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
What?
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Well, I'm hoping too with this little mini series too to learn a lot more about songwriting, because my education with it has been informal and self-taught. So I'm hoping to just have some cool discussions like this with fantastic folks like you, and maybe learn a little bit myself, learn a little bit more about your art, all that stuff too. So I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to send folks off with a couple quick covers, and then we'll be done for the day. So,
can I say something really quick before we head off?
Yeah.
I want to also say, because I know this was something that like was a huge hang up for me. So if you're watching as well and you're thinking like you've always thought it'd be so cool to like write a song or something, but you don't feel like you can play an instrument, or you're like, oh, I don't know anything about music. Please don't let that be a barrier for you. For me, I let that be a barrier for me for whether it was like family members being like, oh, that's not that good, or like, you know, whatever. I let that be a barrier for me for like 15 years. And now I'm realizing like, oh, that was really silly of me, because anyone can write music, even if it's not something that gets played on an instrument. If you have, again, not to use a corny saying, if you have a song in your heart, you can still be a songwriter. And I think people get really hung up on the labels of things. Like, say they're a financial advisor, you can still be a songwriter and write music. So if it's something you're interested in, grab a notebook and just start writing it. And, you know, just do it. So that would be my hope, and I hope that you would feel that way too.
Definitely. That's a really wonderful thing to kind of like wrap up this conversation with too. And keep yourself surrounded by people who support that, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's why I keep y'all around, because you make me feel tall. So,
Oh.
all right. In here I'm tall. All right, guys, I'm going to send folks off. Thank you so much. Everybody check out Cory Teaches Music, YouTube, Insta, everything. JordanJenkinsMusic.com / just tweet at him more so he tweets more. And then, yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to wrap up, and have a beautiful Sunday, okay?
Thank you for having us on, Cassandra. Bye.
I love you guys. All right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. Closing out of Skype over here. And so I got a couple of you folks still watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to throw in a couple covers and just kind of easily transition out of this whole thing here. So for those of you who, I see I had some pretty consistent viewership, so that means a lot to me and Jordan and Cory. Not to speak to that for them, but I assume. So if you are financially able to or inclined, feel free to send me a Venmo, and that just kind of helps us all kind of stay motivated to keep creating cool content like this. If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, don't tell me. No, I'm just kidding. And for those of you who commented and contributed to the conversation, I super appreciate that. Super, super cool. I'm going to be doing this for at least 5 Sundays, so the next 4 weeks. And same time, same place, same kind of format, hopefully better lighting than I got today. But next week, I'm going to be chatting with singer, songwriter, guitar player, producer, and all-around fantastically nice guy, Brent Brown. He's based out of Naperville, Illinois, and I've had him on a few of my concert series before. He's a fantastic soul, and if it's even possible, a better songwriter, singer, and guitar player. So that's what we're doing next week. I'll send you off with some covers. If you want to sneak in a request, drop it in the comments. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's cool that when it stayed too long. Now I wonder why your love's so strong. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. And that time I went to say goodbye. Now I'm back and I'm not ashamed to cry. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. I done a lot of foolish things that I really didn't mean, baby. Don't you know? Seen a lot of things in this whole world. Touched them and they meant nothing, girl. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Woo, baby, set my soul on fire. And now I know you are my one desire. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. real quick for y'all. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for watching. Stevie Wonder, man. You go, how does he have so many hits? Because he just wrote so prolifically. So that's my food for thought here. I'll wrap up today with a cover I just put out on YouTube by Natasha Bedingfield, a fantastic British writer. And I will see you all hopefully next Sunday at 2 o'clock Central, where, like I said, I'll be chatting with Brett Brown. Do something similar to this. If you ever have feedback, do send it my way. This is a new idea. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks, Audrey. Unwritten, can't read my mind. I'm undefined, yeah. I'm just beginning, pens in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Stretch yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. Yeah. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes. I can't live that way. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inner vision, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. At the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inner visions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. The rest is still unwritten. Thank you again for joining me for my first of 5 Songwriter Sundays. I'm Cassandra, Kaczo'rs. Jordan and Cory were here. If you're able to shoot a Venmo over, it helps us make more cool stuff. That one. And please follow Cory Teaches Music and Jordan Jenkins on all the social medias and websites. So thank you again. I will see you next Sunday at 2 p.m. with my friend Brent Brown. So have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay well. See you next time. Bye, y'all. Go.